a couple of weeks ago, he said, The Art of the Deal is one of the greatest books of all time. Second to the Bible.
Right.
Really, it's the second greatest book of all time. Not Great Expectations or Huckleberry Finn or The Rise and Fall of the Old... Right, Roman Empire.
Huge.
Okay. Moby Dick? No.
Yeah.
Yes,
okay.
huge.
So then he kind of got himself into this pickle where he has to defend his knowledge of the Bible. They asked him a couple of weeks ago what his favorite passage was. He was, I don't like to say. Too personal. They asked him again this week, and he got caught. He said his favorite passage was from Proverbs, never bend to envy. And they looked it up, it doesn't exist. There's nothing even close to it. And Bobby Jindal had a great line. He said, the reason we know he's never read the Bible, he's not in the Bible.
That is
well. But see, here's the thing, Bobby Jindal. He's not in the King James version. He's got his own version, as he has the version of everything. It's the King Trump Bible. See, there's a shiny. There's a shiny. Right. Would you like to hear some passages from the King Trump Bible?
Yeah.
Okay. In the beginning, the earth was without form and void, like Jeb Bush's campaign. The earth was very low energy. On her way out of Sodom and Gomorrah, Lot's wife looked back and was turned into a pillar of salt. But let's face it, she wasn't like a 10 anymore. Job cried out to God, my God, why hast thou forsaken me? And the Lord said, because you're a loser and your crops are terrible. It is easier for a camel to pass through the eye of a needle than for a rich man to get into heaven. I will build a needle so world-class, a herd of camels could get through it, and I will make God pay for it. Blessed are the meek, because they're really terrific people, and they love me. The meek are going to inherit so much they're going to get tired of inheriting. Now, speaking of Bernie Sanders, he is the one that makes their heads explode when he talks. And for proof of that, I want to show you Donald Trump, I mentioned this in the monologue, talking about Bernie the next day.
Because this maniac that was standing on her right is giving everything away, so she's following. That's what's happening. This socialist slash communist, he's going to tax you people at 90%. He's going to take everything.
I said 80%.
Okay, so this is my point, that what happens is Bernie says something, they hear something completely different. So what we did is we put up together a little video package for you. You'll hear what Bernie actually said, and then you will hear what the Republicans heard. Now, for example, on the use of force, Bernie said,
I supported President Clinton's effort to deal with ethnic cleansing in Kosovo.
And the Republicans heard,
I will refocus our military on gardening and interpretive dance. We must aspire to the fighting style of the Iraqi army. Tear off your uniforms and run.
On American exceptionalism, Bernie said,
and I think we should look to countries like Denmark, like Sweden, and Norway, and learn from what they have accomplished.
And they heard,
I will not rest until every single American is driving a faggy little car with 3 tires.
Donald Trump's speech was so perfectly, impeccably, beautifully unhinged and unfact-checked. Like he said, economic growth has never been below 0 until the last quarter. It's been below 0 42 times since World War II. He said there are no jobs to be had. There are 5.4 million openings, the most in 15 years. He said we've never beaten Japan at anything. He was talking out of his ass so much. At one point, a roadie went on stage and put a mic behind him. But I tell you something, of all the racists, I think, in the Republican Party, you know who the worst one is? Donald Trump. Donald Trump. Yes, and I'll tell you why. Donald Trump sued me last year for $5 million. Do you know that? Yes. And here's how this came about. Donald Trump thinks we have a feud. because he won't do my show. As if I could give a fuck if that moron did my show. We have a feud because he became a presidential candidate. Now you're on my turf. And not just a presidential candidate, a one-issue candidate. All about how Obama was illegitimate as a president. I offered Donald Trump, yes, on the air, $5 million, if he could prove that he was not the love child of his mother and an orange-haired orangutan. Wait. Not for no reason, because we showed with pictures that there are only two things in nature that have that exact same color hair: Donald Trump and an orange-haired orangutan. And this dummy releases his birth certificate and sues me and goes to the press and turns what was a one-night, one-joke gag into a 3-month national debate over whether his mother fucked an ape. He is not a bright man, so...